We began 10 TV News here at 11 with breaking news. Authorities are investigating a death that they're calling suspicious in Pickaway County right now. This is happening on Bala Road in Orient. 10 TV Cierra Johnson is there. So, Cierra, what are you hearing from investigators at this moment?
Yeah, Scott, you can still see there is quite an active scene. The crime tape is still up, and you can actually see the front light of the home on. That's because investigators are inside combing the scene. Now, deputies with the Pickaway County Sheriff's Office say they've been here since a little before 5 this evening. The sheriff tells me it was around that time they received a call that a woman in her 80s was found dead at her home here in Bala Road in Pickaway County. Now, that call came from the woman's son, and upon further investigation from investigators, it was determined that she did not die of natural causes, and they believe she may have been dead inside of this home since Saturday. Now, the sheriff is keeping pretty tight-lipped about the situation because it is still under investigation, and it is unclear at this moment what led to her death or if anyone else was involved, but we can again confirm that this agency is calling this death suspicious. Again, a woman in her 80s found dead inside of this home by her son. As we learn more information, we'll be sure to share them with you both on air and online. We're live in Pickaway County. Cierra Johnson, 10 TV News.
Cierra, thank you.
After nearly 4 feet of water hit the town of West Lafayette, neighbors are now working to clean up. Tonight, we'll show you their efforts.
We weren't the only place to see storms last. You know what? Many of you woke up this morning to our 10 TV app and a warning from it. Emergency crews rescued people from high water in Coshocton County.
10 TV Cierra Johnson finishes our team coverage, showing us the conditions that were improving throughout the day.
It wasn't just those homes that were impacted by that high water. A local school, this middle school here in Ridgewood, was also hit with incoming water. Now, the director of the Coshocton County EMA says several roads and homes became flooded shortly after the rain picked up around midnight. And it was around that time the superintendent of the local district was notified and urged to check on those buildings. Although the high school was surrounded by water, it was actually unharmed, but the middle school was taking on water. The superintendent tells me staff members and neighbors quickly jumped in to do what they could to prevent any more damage.
And we created a assembly line in a sense and was able to get sandbags on the interior doors, and then we had to wave through water on the exterior doors, which really saved a lot of damage that could come through 2 hallways with classrooms. And we basically got a layer of water in our gym, and our custodians have been working hard ever since trying to get that water up. And at last check, that middle school gym is actually almost clear of water. The surrounding areas, both the baseball fields and the area in front, still a pool of water. The problem is they don't have anywhere dry to pump that water, so now it's a waiting game. We're in Coshocton County. Cierra Johnson, 10 TV News.
Our team coverage continues in Coshocton County, where people were evacuated from their homes. This happened in the village of West Lafayette.
10 TV Cierra Johnson joins us from there, where a state of emergency has been declared.
At one time, what looks like a pond of water was actually an intersection. We've been out here for a couple of hours, and in that time, we've seen kayaks, we've seen boats, and we've seen inflatables make their way down this road. And 18 hours after that flash flood hit, folks are still working to get out.
I've lived here 58 years, and this is the first time I've ever seen this happen in this area.
It came seemingly in an instant overnight.
My daughter sent us a text saying we're under a state emergency and flooding, and the school was underwater.
And when the sun came up, the true extent of this flash flood was revealed. Intersections submerged, fields saturated, even cars stuck in brown, wheel-high water.
Pretty much everything I own is ruined and destroyed.
Toby Conger says he knew by the sound of the rain his family was going to be in trouble, and a short walk through this yard confirmed his fears.
I have no power. I killed my main breaker, but yeah, this is everything in my garage. It's just lawnmowers, brand new weed eaters, chainsaws.
A director with the Coshocton County EMA says in addition to flooded basements, homes, and garages, first responders also made several evacuations, including one of nearly 60 people at a West Lafayette apartment complex. Locals say high water isn't uncommon in parts of this county, but this time around, a massive cleanup is underway. Homes are now under repairs, cars are being towed, and the residents are hopeful for a bit of relief from the rain.
Hopefully insurance covers something, find a place to stay until You know, I mean, clearly you can't stay in the house.
And thankfully, there were no reports of any serious injuries with all of this flooding. There was a shelter open to help those that did not have anywhere to go. And all new at 6, it wasn't just the homes that were impacted by all of this water. We will show you what a school had to do early this morning. In Coshocton, Cierra Johnson, 10 TV News.
To help, 10 TV Cierra Johnson shows us the tools homeowners are getting to help dry out their homes. Cierra?
Yeah, Scott, Yolanda, after that flash flooding and then days and days of that heavy rain, the folks here in Prospect are ready to clean up, and they're getting a little bit of a boost from the American Red Cross. They've been here for about 2 hours handing out these cleanup kits. There's mop heads, you can see there's garbage bags, there's scrubbing brushes, and of course that all important bleach to help those clean up those mold and any other spores or anything that could be in their basements. Now take a look at the video. We've been out here all day and there is still standing water. In Prospect, there are roads that are flooded. Drone 10 capture that. You can see the road really looks like a pond. And some residents we spoke with says it's not uncommon for those creeks to rise, but they say they are just shocked at how bad things have been in the last few days.
It's pretty remarkable when the river comes up and it floods the front yard, floods the backyard, and we end up having to walk through 6 inches of water just to get to the driveway and get into the cars. So it's a pretty remarkable thing when the river comes up this high.
And the folks with Red Cross will be here until 7, and they say they have dozens of these kits for anybody in Marion County or the town of Prospect to pick up. They are free of charge, and all new at 6, you'll hear from others working through this cleanup after those heavy rains really poured into some people's homes. In Prospect, Cierra Johnson, 10 TV News.
All right, thank you, Cierra.
Reporter Cierra Johnson joins us now live with this man's story. Cierra?
Yes, you can see short north. Folks are making their way down, preparing for a big celebratory weekend. But for one Central Ohioan, he tells me he's simply grateful to be alive and able to take part in the festivities. When that parade comes down High Street tomorrow, Tyler Cummings will be on the Lifeline Ohio float, spreading a simple message: you can give the gift of life regardless of your sexual orientation.
I have my energy back, and I ran a mile yesterday for the first time.
For Tyler Cummins, it's the little milestones that mean the most.
My cardiac rehab is going well. My diet is back. My appetite is back.
After spending years on the donor list and living with devices to keep his heart beating, he got the long-awaited news.
On February 25th of this year, I got a call after listing for heart transplant at Ohio State that they had a heart ready for me.
After receiving a new heart in February, this 32-year-old is adjusting to his new normal.
About half of these in the morning and then the other half at night.
And he's taken on a new focus, spreading an important message to members of his LGBTQ community.
For me, it's a no-brainer. I was a donor before, and certainly a donor is what got me here today.
Dispelling myths that have been perpetuated for years.
You're a part of us. You have the ability to give the gift of life like everyone else.
Lifeline Ohio CEO says this organization's presence at Columbus Pride is crucial. Their goal is to spread the word that members of this community can become organ donors. And those who are HIV positive can also become donors to help save the lives of others living with HIV.
There's actually very much excitement about the fact that, no, wait a minute, I can do this? I always thought I could not do this.
After spending last Pride on the sidelines, weak and uncertain about the next step in his transplant journey, this year Tyler and his partner are celebrating life.
It kind of struck me as the right time to step up and speak out.
And the folks with Lifeline Ohio tell me they will have a booth set up at the start of the parade to continue dispelling some of those myths. They'll also hand out some free goodies for anyone interested and also registering people to become organ donors. We are live in the Short North. Cierra Johnson, 10 TV News.
10 TV's Cierra Johnson is there with what she is learning from detectives. Good evening, Cierra.
Good evening, Brittany. As you can see behind me, it is still a very active scene. You can see those police lights with officers still interviewing witnesses here on Stanford Place, as well as that all too familiar yellow police tape. Now, the details are limited in the situation, but we can confirm one person was shot and killed here on Stanford Place, and Columbus police have 3 people in custody. Now, right now, we are waiting to get more information from Columbus police, including the name and the age of that victim, as well as what happened in the moments before they received that call. Again, still a very fluid situation, but we can tell you one person was shot and killed here on the city's south side, and officers still out here several hours later combing the scene for more information. We will, of course, bring you the latest as it becomes available, both on air and online. On the city's south side, Cierra Johnson, 10 TV News.